Ma'am, I need you to step away from that child. Now, two police officers, hands on holsters, surrounding me and my 6-year-old daughter in the school parking lot. My daughter, Emma, clung to my leg crying. "Mommy, what's happening?" "It's okay, baby," I whispered. But it wasn't okay. The school secretary stood 20 feet away, arms crossed, watching like she'd just stopped a kidnapping. "Officers, there's been a mistake. This is my daughter. I'm here for early pickup. We received a report of a suspicious person attempting to remove a student from school grounds," the officer said. "Do you have identification?" I looked at my car. 10 feet away. My purse inside. My credentials inside. Judge Alicia Thompson. Family court. 15 years on the bench. I presided over hundreds of custody cases, signed thousands of court orders. And I was being treated like a kidnapper for picking up my own child from a school where I was on the PDA board. What they didn't know, what they were about to discover, was that recording everything is a habit when you're a judge. And the body camera footage they just created, that was about to become the most expensive video in this school district's history. Welcome to Untold Chronicles, where hidden stories of justice finally come to light. Before we begin, drop your location in the comments. And if you believe racial profiling has consequences, hit that subscribe button, because this story is about to show what happens when you call the police on a judge. Stay with me. This gets intense. But justice? Justice is coming. Let's dive in. April 3rd, 2024, 1:47 p.m. My daughter Emma had a dentist appointment at 2:30 p.m. I'd sent the early dismissal notice to Westfield Elementary 3 days prior. Submitted it through their online portal. Got confirmation. Standard procedure. I'd done this dozens of times. I left the courthouse early, still wearing my professional attire, tailored pantsuit, pearl earrings, court credentials on a lanyard around my neck. Drove to Emma's school, Westfield Elementary, affluent suburb of Chicago. 89% white student body. We were one of 12 black families in a school of 600 students. I'd been on the PDA board for 3 years. Organized the fall fundraiser. Volunteered at book fairs. Every teacher knew me. I'd been in this building hundreds of times. But apparently, that Tuesday afternoon, I looked suspicious. I walked into the office at 1:47 p.m. "Hi, I'm here to pick up Emma Thompson for early dismissal. Room 108. The secretary, Mrs. Patricia Morrison, mid-50s, been there for 20 years, looked up from her computer. Her expression changed. Subtle, but I saw it. "Do you have your ID?" I smiled. "Of course." Pulled out my driver's license. Handed it to her. She studied it. Longer than necessary. "And your Emma's?" "Mother, Judge Alicia Thompson." I submitted the early dismissal form on Monday. She typed on her computer. Slowly. "I'm not seeing a dismissal request under that name." I submitted it through the parent portal. Confirmation number 47832. More typing. Still not showing up. Other parents came in behind me. White parents. Mrs. Morrison smiled at them immediately. "Hi, Sarah. Here from Madison. I'll buzz the classroom right away." No ID check. No verification. Just immediate service. I waited. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. "Mrs. Morrison, I have the confirmation email on my phone, if that helps." Just a moment. She picked up the phone. Whispered something I couldn't hear. Principal Vance appeared. Tall white man, early 60s. I knew him. Had met him at least 24 times at PDA meetings, school events, teacher conferences. "Can I help you?" He said it like he'd never seen me before. "Principal Vance, it's Judge Thompson. I'm here to pick up Emma for a dentist appointment." I submitted early dismissal. "Do you have custody documentation?" I blinked. "Excuse me." "Legal documentation showing you have custody of Emma Thompson. I'm her mother. I've been picking her up from this school for 3 years." "Ma'am, we need to verify." "Principal Vance, you know who I am. I'm on your PDA board. I organized your fall fundraiser. I'm going to need to see documentation before I can release any student." Behind me, Sarah picked up her daughter Madison. No documentation. No questions. Just a friendly, "Have a great afternoon." I pulled out my phone. "Fine. I have Emma's birth certificate, court orders, everything. Let me pull them up. I'm going to need you to wait outside while we verify this information." Wait outside. I'm standing in the office. Ma'am, you're creating a disturbance. I'm asking to pick up my child. Principal Vance's jaw tightened. If you don't leave the office voluntarily, I'll have to call security. Security? For what? Picking up my daughter? He turned to Mrs. Morrison. Call the police. Tell them we have a suspicious person attempting to remove a student from the premises. The room went silent. You're calling the police? On me? Ma'am, please exit the building. I couldn't believe this was happening. But I'm a judge. I know how these situations escalate. I know that black women, especially black women asserting their rights, get treated as threats. So I walked outside, pulled out my phone, started recording. It's April 3rd, 1:58 p.m. I'm Judge Alicia Thompson, standing outside Westfield Elementary School. I came to pick up my daughter, Emma Thompson, from room 108 for an early dismissal that was pre-approved. Principal Vance has refused to release my daughter and has called the police on me. I recorded the school entrance. The time, everything. 7 minutes later, 2 police cars pulled up. Officers Martinez and Coleman stepped out. Both white. Both with that particular cop swagger that tells you they've already decided you're guilty. Ma'am, we received a report. Officers, my name is Judge Alicia Thompson. I'm a family court judge. I'm here to pick up my 6-year-old daughter from school for a pre-approved early dismissal. The school has called the police on me for attempting to pick up my own child. Officer Martinez's hand moved to his holster. Ma'am, I need you to calm down. I am calm. I'm stating facts. We need to verify your identity and your relationship to the child in question. My credentials are in my car. Right there. 10 feet away. May I retrieve them? Stay where you are. Where's the child now? Inside the school. They're refusing to release her to me. Principal Vance walked out. Officers, thank you for responding. This woman is attempting to remove a student, my daughter, and became belligerent when we asked for identification. I provided identification. You demanded custody papers. She was shouting in the office, creating a scene. I asked for my child. Officer Coleman held up his hand. Everyone needs to calm down. Ma'am, do you have identification proving you're this child's parent? In my car. May I get it? He nodded. I walked slowly to my car, hyper-aware that any sudden movement could be misinterpreted. Grabbed my purse, pulled out my wallet, driver's license, court credentials, bar association card, Emma's birth certificate that I kept in my wallet for exactly this type of situation. I handed everything to Officer Martinez. He studied them. His expression shifted. You're Judge Thompson? From family court? Yes. For the past 15 years. He looked at Principal Vance, then back at me. And this is your daughter? Yes. Emma Thompson, 6 years old, 1st grade, room 108, Mrs. Patterson's class. Officer Martinez handed my credentials back. Sir, he said to Principal Vance, this woman has provided valid identification and documentation proving she's the child's mother. But we don't have an early dismissal form. That sounds like an administrative issue, not a criminal matter. She was aggressive in the office. I was asking for my child, I said evenly. And you called the police instead of checking your records. Officer Coleman stepped in. Judge Thompson, we apologize for the confusion. Confusion? I was racially profiled. You were called because a black woman was in the school office asking for her child. That's not confusion. That's discrimination. Principal Vance's face went red. Now wait just a minute. You know me. You've known me for 3 years. Yet today you demanded custody papers, threatened me with security, and called the police. Tell me, have you ever called the police on a white parent picking up their child? Silence. I'm going to ask one more time. Release my daughter. Now. Officer Martinez nodded to Principal Vance. Sir, you need to release the child to her mother. But protocol. The protocol is that a parent with proper identification can pick up their child. She has that identification. Release the child. Principal Vance went inside. Returned 3 minutes later with Emma. My baby was crying. Scared. A teacher I'd never seen before was holding her hand. Mommy. Emma ran to me. I scooped her up, held her tight. It's okay, baby. Mommy's here. She was shaking. They said you were my mommy. They said you were trying to take me. My heart shattered. I looked at Principal Vance. and Mrs. Morrison standing in the doorway. At the officers, "You traumatized my child. You treated me like a criminal, and you did it because I'm black." "Ma'am, this was a simple verification. Just don't." I turned to the officers. "I want an incident report. Full documentation. Everything." Officer Martinez nodded. "Yes, ma'am. We'll file a complete report." I walked to my car, put Emma in her car seat. She was still crying. And then I did what judges do when faced with injustice. I started building a case. That night, after Emma finally fell asleep, I sat in my home office and reviewed everything. I had my phone recording of the incident, officer body camera footage, which I'd submit a FOIA request for. The confirmation email showing early dismissal was approved 3 days prior. Witness statements from other parents who'd seen the confrontation. My own notes documenting dates, times, quotes. But I needed more. I called my friend Marcus Chun, civil rights attorney, ACLU board member, and one of the best discrimination lawyers in Illinois. "Marcus, I need your help. Westfield Elementary called the police on me today for picking up my daughter." "What?" I told him everything. The dismissal form, Mrs. Morrison's delay, Principal Vance's custody demand, the police. "And here's the thing," I said. "I've been watching this school for 3 years. Emma's not the only black student who's had issues. There's a pattern. Tell me." Over the next week, I did something I should have done years ago. I investigated. I talked to the other black families at Westfield Elementary. 11 families, 11 stories. James Wilson, father of Marcus Wilson, 2nd grade. They called CPS on us because Marcus came to school with a bruise. He'd fallen off his bike. But instead of asking, they reported suspected abuse. CPS investigated for 2 months. Found nothing. Never apologized. Jennifer Martinez, mother of Sophia Martinez, 4th grade. Sophia brought homemade tamales for lunch. The teacher reported it as suspicious food and made her throw it away. Said it didn't look safe. Other kids bring sushi, Mediterranean food, no problem. But tamales? Suspicious. David and Karen Robinson, parents of twins Aisha and Jamal, 3rd grade. They separated our twins into different classes because the principal said having 2 black students in one classroom would be disruptive. No other twins were separated. Michelle Foster, mother of Tyler Foster, kindergarten. Tyler wore his hair in locks. The gym teacher told him his hair was distracting and unhygienic. She made him sit out of gym class until we fixed it. We filed a complaint. Nothing happened. 11 families. 11 incidents. Same pattern. Black families treated as suspicious, as problems, as threats. And I've been too busy, too trusting, too willing to give them the benefit of the doubt to see it. Not anymore. I filed FOIA requests for all police calls made from Westfield Elementary, past 5 years. All CPS reports filed by Westfield staff, past 5 years. All disciplinary records by race, past 5 years. All parent complaints by race, past 5 years. Early dismissal processing times by parent race, past 5 years. The data came back 6 weeks later. It was damning. Police calls from Westfield Elementary, 2019 to 2024. Total calls, 47. Calls involving black families, 31, 66%. Black families represent 2% of student body. CPS reports filed. Total, 23. Involving black families, 18, 78%. Early dismissal processing. White parents. Average processing time, 4 minutes. Black parents. Average processing time, 23 minutes. Black parents required to show ID, 94% of time. White parents required to show ID, 12% of time. Disciplinary records. Black students, 2% of student body, 41% of suspensions. White students, 89% of student body, 34% of suspensions. Pattern and practice. Statistical proof of systemic discrimination. I also pulled the officer body camera footage. The recording showed everything. My calm demeanor. Principal Vance's aggression. Mrs. Morrison's dismissive treatment. The contrast with how white parents were treated. And it showed Emma, my 6-year-old daughter, crying, scared, being told her mother wasn't her mother. I watched it once. Then I sent it to Marcus. Build the case, I said. I want everyone involved held accountable. June 15th, 2024, we filed in federal court. Emma Thompson, minor, and Judge Alicia Thompson versus Westfield Elementary School District, Principal Robert Vance, and Secretary Patricia Morrison. Causes of action: racial discrimination under Title VI and 42 U.S.C. 1983. Violation of equal protection, 14th Amendment. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. Negligent supervision and deliberate indifference. Pattern and practice of racial discrimination. Civil rights conspiracy. $5 million compensatory. Emma's trauma, my humiliation. $20 million punitive. Systemic discrimination. Complete overhaul of school policies. Mandatory anti-bias training. Federal monitor for 3 years. Termination of Principal Vance. The lawsuit hit national news within hours. Judge called police on while picking up daughter from school. Illinois school accused of racial profiling in federal lawsuit. Family court judge sues elementary school for $25 million. CNN, NBC, every major outlet. My phone wouldn't stop ringing. The school district hired a crisis PR firm. Issued a statement. Westfield Elementary School District is committed to the safety and well-being of all students. Our staff followed standard security protocols. We regret any misunderstanding and are confident that a full investigation will show our staff acted appropriately. Misunderstanding. That word again. Marcus held a press conference, played the body camera footage, showed the statistical analysis. This isn't about one incident, he said. This is about a school district that has systematically discriminated against black families for years. Judge Thompson's experience is horrific, but it's not unique. We have 11 other families ready to testify to similar treatment. The community response was split. White parents defended the school. They were just being careful. Better safe than sorry. Black parents came forward. This happened to me too. I thought I was the only one. The school board called an emergency meeting. Protesters lined up outside. Fire Vance. Racist school. Justice for Emma. 3 board members resigned. The superintendent was put on administrative leave. And in a desperate attempt at damage control, Principal Vance gave an interview to a local news station. Judge Thompson was belligerent and uncooperative. We have a responsibility to protect all our students, and she was acting suspiciously. Marcus immediately filed for enhanced damages. The defendant continues to defame our client and justify his discriminatory actions. The school district's insurance company panicked, pushed for settlement. We can't win this, their lawyer told them. The body camera footage alone destroys us. The statistical analysis proves pattern and practice. And you've got a sitting judge as the victim. No jury will side with you. Settlement negotiations began in August. The school district offered $1 million. Marcus rejected it. They offered $3 million. Rejected. You don't understand? I told their lawyers in mediation. This isn't about money. This is about my daughter being traumatized. About 11 other families being harassed. About a school district that has institutionalized racism and refuses to acknowledge it. They offered $5 million plus policy changes. No, I said, here's what I want. $12 million total damages. Complete termination of Principal Robert Vance and Secretary Patricia Morrison. For cause. No severance. Federal monitor for 5 years with full oversight powers. Mandatory anti-bias training for all staff, board members, and volunteers with annual recertification. Creation of a family liaison position specifically for Black and Brown families, reporting directly to superintendent. Anonymous reporting system for discrimination complaints handled by external civil rights firm. Public apology read by the current superintendent at a school board meeting, broadcast live. Statistical reporting. Annual public release of disciplinary data, CPS reports, police calls, and early dismissal processing times, broken down by race. Policy changes. Same-day processing for all early dismissals. ID requirements applied equally to all parents. Prohibition on calling police for administrative issues. Take it or see you in trial. where a jury will award even more after they see what you did to my 6-year-old daughter. Silence around the conference table. And one more thing, I added. I want a personal apology from Principal Vance and Mrs. Morrison. In writing, acknowledging what they did, taking responsibility. No weasel words like misunderstanding or protocol. The school district's lawyer looked ill. We'll need board approval. You have 48 hours. After that, we proceed to trial. They settled. September 18th, 2024. $12 million paid. Principal Vance and Mrs. Morrison terminated. Every demand met. The public apology was read by Superintendent Wilson at a packed school board meeting. Broadcast on local news. Posted on the district website. On April 3rd, 2024, Westfield Elementary School staff racially profiled Judge Alicia Thompson when she came to pick up her daughter Emma Thompson for a pre-approved early dismissal. Our staff treated Judge Thompson as a criminal rather than a parent. We called the police on a mother who was simply picking up her child. We traumatized a 6-year-old girl by telling her that her mother wasn't her mother. This was wrong. This was discrimination. And we take full responsibility. The audience erupted, some applauding, some angry. But I didn't care about them. I cared about Emma, who'd been so traumatized by that day that she had nightmares for months, who developed anxiety about going to school, who'd asked me, "Mommy, why did they say you weren't my mommy?" We transferred her to a different school, a place where diversity isn't a buzzword but a reality, where the staff doesn't see Black parents as suspicious. She's thriving now, happy, confident again, but the damage was done, and no amount of money fixes that. The settlement became a national case study. Schools across the country reviewed their policies. Are we doing this too? The ACLU used our statistical analysis as a template for investigating other districts. Within a year, 3 more school districts in Illinois were under federal investigation for similar patterns. Principal Vance tried to get hired elsewhere. No district would touch him after the case became public. He's working in private education consulting now. Makes a fraction of what he used to. Mrs. Morrison retired. Posted on Facebook about being forced out for doing her job. The comments were not supportive. The federal monitor at Westfield has been in place for 8 months now. First quarterly report showed police calls down 89%. CPS reports down 76%. Early dismissal processing time equalized, 7 minutes average for all parents. 0 discrimination complaints filed. The school hired Dr. Janice Williams, a Black woman with a PhD in educational equity, as the new principal. She's transforming the culture, one policy at a time. And me? I used the settlement money to establish the Emma Thompson Educational Justice Fund. We provide free legal representation to families facing discrimination in schools. We've helped 63 families in 8 months. 141 cases. Changed policies in 17 school districts. Because what happened to Emma happens every day. Black children disciplined more harshly. Black parents treated as threats. Black families questioned, investigated, criminalized. The system is broken, but we're fixing it. Lesson 1. Record everything always. My phone recording, even though it only captured my perspective, was crucial evidence. Combined with the police body cameras, it showed the complete picture. If you're in a situation where you're being discriminated against, document it. Video, audio, photos, written notes. Everything. Documentation turns your word against theirs into provable facts. Lesson 2. Your credentials won't always protect you. I'm a judge. I was wearing my court credentials. I was known to the school. None of that mattered when faced with racial bias. Being educated, professional, respected. These things don't shield you from discrimination. The system doesn't care who you are when it sees your skin color first. Lesson 3. One incident is never just one incident. When I started investigating, I found 11 other families with similar stories. This wasn't about me. It was about systemic discrimination. If something discriminatory happens to you, look for patterns. Talk to others. You're probably not the first. Lesson 4. Statistics prove what stories suggest. The statistical analysis was devastatingly effective. Hard numbers showing that black families were disproportionately targeted removed any, maybe it was just a misunderstanding defense. If you're fighting institutional discrimination, get the data. FOIA requests are powerful tools. Lesson 5. Trauma is real, especially for children. Emma developed anxiety from this incident. She had nightmares. She questioned her reality. When adults create traumatic situations for children, especially through racist actions, the impact is profound and lasting. Protect your children. Get them therapy if needed. Document their trauma. It matters in court, and it matters for their healing. Lesson 6. Settlements can demand change, not just money. I could have taken $5 million and walked away, but money wouldn't change the school's culture. Demanding structural changes, firings, oversight, policy reforms, creates lasting impact beyond your individual case. Lesson 7. Safety protocols are often just excuses for bias. Every discriminatory action was justified as safety or protocol or verification. But those same protocols weren't applied to white parents. When safety is selectively enforced based on race, it's not safety. It's discrimination hiding behind policy. Lesson 8. Silence enables systemic problems. For 3 years, I was too busy to notice the pattern, too willing to assume good intentions. Meanwhile, 11 other families were suffering in silence, each thinking they were alone. Speak up, even when it's uncomfortable. Your voice might be the one that helps others realize they're not crazy, they're not alone, and the system is the problem, not them. Lesson 9. The law protects you if you use it. Federal civil rights laws exist for exactly these situations, but they only work if you enforce them. Too many families accept discrimination because fighting seems too hard, too expensive, too risky. But you have rights. Use them. There are lawyers who will fight for you, organizations that will help. Lesson 10. Your fight helps others. Our case led to investigations in 3 other districts, changed policies in 17 schools, helped 63 families through our foundation. When you stand up against injustice, you're not just fighting for yourself. You're fighting for everyone who comes after you. That's legacy. This is Untold Chronicles, where hidden stories of justice finally come to light. If this story moved you, hit that like button. Subscribe for daily stories of accountability and justice. Comment. Have you or your child faced discrimination at school? Share your story. Share this video with every parent who needs to know you don't have to accept being treated like a criminal. Principal Vance thought he could call the police on me without consequences. Mrs. Morrison thought a black woman in the office was suspicious. They thought their assumptions were justified. They were wrong. And it cost them their jobs, their reputations, and their school district $12 million. My daughter learned a hard lesson that day. Sometimes the people who should protect you will hurt you instead. But she also learned her mother will always fight for her. Her mother won't accept injustice. And justice, real justice, is possible, even when the system is rigged against you. Especially then. I'll see you in the next chronicle.